This time off, what has that done for you guys? How beneficial has this time off in terms of the offense working on maybe some stuff that you guys want to get better at?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's really allowed us, the season's long, play a lot of games, get banged up a lot. I think the first thing that's allowed us to do is just really get our legs and our bodies back underneath us from a strength and conditioning standpoint, from a rehab standpoint. And I think what it's really allowed us to do is attack the things that we're really good at, attack those things, and then really develop and build things that we know we need to be able to do in order to go win, doing what winning requires. And the big thing about practice is you hadn't really played a lot of ball in the last 2.5 weeks. So overemphasizing your pad level, your physicality, your ball security whenever you're out there at practice, those are just little things that could creep in into a game that you want to make sure that you take care of just because you haven't played football for a long time. And so we've been able to do a lot of reflection, a lot of developing, and at the same time building upon things that we feel like we're really good at.
Okay, first row, right side, Jenny.
Ben, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just going to ask you.
Okay.
Basically, since the Ole Miss game, you guys have had 5 pass plays of 39 yards or more, but you've only had 4 of 25 yards between that distance. You're very explosive at the top end, but don't have a lot of the intermediate stuff. What is that with the offense, sort of maybe not having the intermediate pass play, but also having that explosive ability in this offense?
Yeah, we have to do a better job at executing whenever we get downfield, putting the ball in a catchable spot for the receivers creating separation from DBs, holding up in pass protection. We have to do a really good job of schematically getting guys open too. And so there's a lot that goes into that intermediate realm so we can get run after the catch, get those guys operational space whenever they have the ball in their hand. But one thing that I think our guys have shown to do is whenever they get the ball and they get running, I mean, they can really stretch the field and take it the distance. And so we just have to continue getting better at those moments, those aspects of the game. And that's been something that I think we've stressed a good deal on the last 2.5 weeks. And but yeah, we just have to continue developing all that and finding the situations whenever we can attack that certain area and make it count.
Okay, we'll go first row, right side, Mason Young in the middle.
Mason Young, Tulsa World. Ben, I'm wondering you talked about the rehab side of this break. I'm wondering what the time off has done for guys like Xavier Robinson, Torrey Blaylock. How much better do you think they're feeling going into this playoff compared to the things that they've been playing through?
Yeah, well, those two dudes are really, really tough, so I don't think they would tell you any different. They'd say they're just ready to play. But it's just been good being able to get them out there, maybe take a little bit off their body, maybe with either a shorter practice here or there, or we have days in vests where there's just not a whole lot of physical contact going on. But, just being able to rest and relax a little bit and get into the training room at a high clip and get in the cold tub and get in red light therapy and everything that goes into rehab, I think is just really going to help their body, help their mindset too. Just something about feeling good. You play good too, and so I'm excited for the rehab that they've been able to get, how we've been able to take care of their bodies as well as everybody else's body, and I'm excited to finally be back in game week and get to go watch these guys play again.
Okay, next to Mason, we'll go to Colton Sully.
Colton Sully, the Oklahoman. Yeah, Ben, I know this season has been frustrating at times, and I know you'd love to score 40 points a game, but how validating is it that your guys have sort of found ways to win when it matters most? And then also, maybe what's one thing that you've learned in your first season here as play caller?
Yeah, I mean, first thing I'm going to say, I think frustration is just relative. I mean, at the end of the day, we're 10-2. We're in the college football playoff with an unbelievable opportunity to continue playing football. And we have unreal kids in our locker room who have attacked every single day. And so first and foremost, that's where I'm at. I'm fired up that our kids have this opportunity to continue playing. They keep on finding ways to win. And but I'm excited. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm excited for the opportunity that they have taken over the last 2.5 weeks to continue to get better. I mean, that's a lot of football. That's a lot of good practicing. That's a lot of good development for younger guys in the program for the future. It's really good development for our current guys who want to go do something special. And so excited, proud of the way the guys battled this season. I'm excited to watch them keep battling.
Let's go to Barry Trammell.
Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Ben, I don't know what your history is with rematches.
Yeah.
College, we're going to have more of them, but we don't have them too often. What's this 2 weeks been like? Game planning for a team that you beat 6 weeks ago, or a month ago, and you had some success, some other stuff not work. Do you go to the stuff that worked? You look for new stuff. How do you even approach a rematch like this?
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of rematches. I've had a few, but I haven't had a whole lot. I think the first thing you got to do is you got to see what you did well and why did you do it well. What did the defense do in order for you to do that really, really well? How did we execute in those moments to do things really well? But ultimately, you have to take back and look at that game and look, okay, why were they doing certain things in these certain situations? All right, well, how can we counteract that? How can we attack that a different way? Or do we need to execute better in moments and situations? And that's really kind of how you have to look at it. But you can't just go in and do the same thing. I mean, that'd be like malpractice as a coach. And so, just finding different ways to put these guys in different positions to be successful, in different modes and methods to make them successful is how you really have to go about whenever you play a rematch and you're looking to attack and get after it on the offensive side. And so, and those guys over there, they're great coaches. Kane Womack, he's an unbelievable coach. He does such a great job. He puts those guys in great positions to be successful. And so, inversely, we have to do an even better job of that. We have to do everything that we can to ensure success for our guys, and that comes through schematics, that comes through demanding details in practice, demanding focus in practice, demanding execution in practice, and ultimately all of that is a culmination that builds confidence into our kids to go out there and attack and play fast. So again, love the 2.5 weeks of work that we've had, and I'm excited to get to Friday.
Okay, same side, second row, middle, Ryan Chapman.
Ryan Chapman, Suicide side. How tough is it to maintain rhythm and timing when you have a 3-week break with especially the short passing game, and then for John, not that he said to rebuild confidence, but he's done such a good job taking care of the ball up until the LSU game. How good was this for him to kind of just flush that and get back to what he was doing previously in November?
Yeah, I mean it's been great. You almost like peel it back to like fall camp over the last 2.5 weeks. You're still getting ready for an opponent and everything like that, but you really get to dial in on the basics of concepts of defensive structure, of footwork, of timing, and so that's been great to just get even more developmental reps at that. But you have to be creative and artful in how you set up practice, because we haven't played football in quite a while. You have to be really artful in how you go about practicing, almost making it feel like game operation, game feel out there, just so they continue to stay in the flow of things. You're not just going out there and running plays, just finding different ways to be creative, to put those guys in the moment of a game that, hey, this is the most important moment we have today because it's this moment in the game. And, there's an art to it, and you have to be creative with it. And the kids have been awesome throughout these weeks of practice, buying into the different kind of structures of practice. And Coach Venables has done a great job of setting up a few good-on-goods here in practice just to really kind of make it game-like and have that true game feel. And so, been taking steps to try and keep that game cadence, if you would. And, kids have been awesome.
Okay, let's go to third row, Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff Brudd, Associated Press. Obviously, John Mateers can be a bit of a risk taker sometimes, but as Ryan said, he's been better with ball security lately. Obviously, ball security is going to be very critical in a playoff game. How do you balance the John Mateer, who's a bit of a risk taker and does some really good things for you at times, with the need to be strong in the ball security aspect of things?
Yeah, I think it comes down to just taking your layups. There's a basketball reference for you. I mean, just taking the layups, taking the easy stuff whenever it's there, not trying to make something if it's not there, just making your smart decisions, whether it's in the run game, the RPO game, or the drop back pass game, maybe try not to force something, find a check down, something of that sort. You just have to be really intentional with every rep that you get out in practice to build kind of a, I don't know, I keep on saying the word cadence, but you have to build a rhythm and a cadence to the quarterback position. And everyone knows there's moments in the football game where you have to where you have to go make a play. You know, sometimes it's not there. All right, well, you have to go make it. You have to go do whatever you can to execute in that moment, in that situation. And I think John's been really good, you know, in the last month that we played football, of taking care of the ball and of taking easy layups. Can he always be better? Absolutely. But just over these last, you know, couple weeks of practice, just really harping on the taking the easy, taking the basics, taking the layups, while also protecting the football. And that's for everybody on the team. I mean, the amount of ball security that we've been doing, again, because it's just stuff that creeps up, right? It's stuff that creeps up if you leave it by the wayside and you don't think about it. And so those little things are just really important, and we try and attack it every day, specifically with John, but with everybody on the offense also.
Stay in the third row, James.
James Hales, OTC Sports Radio. Ben, talk about Alabama's defense. That was a pretty tough situation. The first game, you managed to win the game, but talk about what they do and how good of a defense it really is.
Again, Coach Womack, schematically, he does a really good job of putting them in position to be successful, and really does his absolute best to stress whatever call that you might have on. He does a great job of that. But on the flip side too, you have to look at the players. They execute it. They're in position. You can tell that they're really in tune with Coach Womack and what his vision of the defense is. And then, you know, they got guys that make it go on that side of the ball too, you know, just from full body of work of the season, whether it's crossover film or when we played them, or reflecting on the game when we played them, or game planning for this one. You know, you think of guys like Bray Hubbard. I mean, he kind of shows up all over the film. He's an awesome player. They ask him to do quite a bit of stuff, and he doesn't turn anything down. And linebacker Lawson, he holds it down there in the front seven, does a great job in the box, does a great job whenever it's pass of getting out and just finding his way into throwing lanes. And that's the case for a lot of the players they have, but those two really stick out in my head as guys that just, you know, they're asked to do a lot, and the coach has trust in them. But again, they try to put you in some really tough situations, and their guys go around and fly around and execute it. So they do a great job.
Just come to the left side on the aisle, Jesse.
Jesse Green, OU Insider. Ben, it feels like in a lot of these games and in critical moments, Isaiah and John have been able to connect for big plays. Just what do you attribute maybe the way that dynamic has developed through the course of the season, and is that something you can kind of lean on going into the playoff?
Yeah, absolutely. They have a great chemistry about them, you know, and they've had a great chemistry about them since they both showed up in January. I think they have very similar mindsets when it comes to the work, whenever it comes to practice, and just their competitive nature. I think they're both elite competitors, and so whenever you take details and it goes to execution, and then you add really good just ability that they have, good things seem to happen, and they have a great chemistry about them. John always seems to know where Isaiah is going to be, what he's going to do, and Isaiah's done a great job of making some really big-time plays this year for us, and doing a lot of special things with the ball after the catch. And so, again, it's those two kids. They put in the work, and, you know, they show up.
Let's go to Bob.
Persbillo, Sooner Scoop. Ben, now that signing day is over, I want to talk about Bo Bentley for a second here.
Okay. There we go.
It was clear once you arrived here, you identified him as the guy that you really wanted for the 2026 quarterback class. So what did you love so much about him, and what did it mean for him to be committed and be the foundation of the class throughout the summer and fall?
Yeah, you know, before I even knew Bo or anything, I love winners. And up until just a couple days ago in their state semifinal playoff game, Bo had never lost. I think he was 29-0 or something before losing to, I think it was Stephenville the other day, 24-21 with a field goal with 2 seconds left on the clock. And so I love winners, and I love competitors. And it was really easy to see in Bo's film that he was a elite competitor. Really loved to put the team on his back, whether it was throwing the ball or running the ball. And then once you get to know the kid and you get to know his story and you get to know his family, just the work ethic that he has that's been instilled in him, the competitive nature that he has, and just the overall good human being that he is. I mean, you know, it was one of those things that said, okay, he fits OU, he fits what I want to do offensively. He's a great kid, and yeah, excited to have him part of the OU family.
Okay, next to Bob, let's go to Josh.
Josh McDaniel, OU Daily. Ben, I just want to go deeper into John's focus going into this game.
Okay.
How's his mindset been out of this matchup?
Yeah, I think John's really excited. I mean, as a kid who is from the Metroplex, who's grown up loving football his entire life, I mean, the college football playoffs have been around long enough now. He's probably in middle school or something whenever the first one happened. And so just being able to grow up and see the special teams and special players that have gotten to play in it and knowing what it takes to get into that moment and into that situation, I think it really excites him, just from being a football enthusiast. But as a competitor, there's a reason John Mateer came to OU. He wants to be the best. He wants to play at the best. He wants to compete against the best. And he's never once lost sight of that. And, going into this playoff, I mean, his mindset's been laser focused, locked in, understanding what needs to be done to win, and go that way moving forward from an individual standpoint, from a leader standpoint, a leader of the masses out there, just, whether it's extra walkthroughs or just being a little bit more dialed in, detailed at practice on something. He understands that moment and he's excited for it. So I'm excited for him.
We'll go second row middle, Kerry.
Kerry Murdoch from Center Scoop. Ben, what have you appreciated about Brent, watching him this year? And I mean, the 4-game win streak to end the year, coming back after Ole Miss, now being in the playoffs. Every offensive coordinator that's been in Oklahoma that's had success has gone on to be a head coach. I'm sure you take notes on what you see from head coaches. What have you appreciated most about him?
His unwavering leadership, his unwavering standard, and his unwavering commitment to being great. Those 3 things right there. I mean, he lives it every single day in everything that he does. And it's not hard to see. I mean, you just have to have your eyes open and you see it. And he's an incredible example of what being a leader is, battling through adversity is, putting his head down, working, and ultimately getting an entire team and an entire program pulling the rope in the same direction. And just an incredible motivator, and has everybody believing like no one I've ever seen. So that's what I appreciate about Coach Venables.
Okay, Coach, we're going to go to a question by Zoom. Eli Letterman, ESPN. Go ahead, Eli.
Hey, Ben. Still on Coach Venables, but more on maybe what he does to opposing offenses. Not giving away all the secrets, but you're standing there on the sidelines. What are the things he does that to you as an offensive coordinator stand out that really challenge an offense?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like the voice of God asking me a question right there. Yeah. Just having the opportunity throughout the spring and fall camp to go against Coach Venables and his defense, I think just one thing that he does is he's going to challenge you. He's going to challenge everything about your scheme. He's going to, whether it's run game or pass game, he's incredible at sitting back, dissecting, and really studying, what you're trying to do, what you like to do, and he's going to challenge that, in a bunch of different fashions. Sometimes you think you know what you're about to get, and you don't. And I think that's just the beauty of him as a play caller and the beauty of him as a game planner and a coach. So he's going to challenge everything that you want to do.
All right, that's all we have time for. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Boomer.